Just so you guys know, I'm being super safe when I record these. I'm in a parking lot. I just turned on my car. So today is the start of my 6th full week doing Turbofire, which is a HIIT program that we got like 10 years ago. And I've been doing that because the gym's closed, and I think I mentioned it in my last video. Oh, there's this whole sun thing. But I really am eager to post this video, to share this right now. Just all the changes that I have noticed in myself. First of all, I don't know if I'm the only one, but I go through these like times where I'm totally obsessed with a topic, and it's like all I Google and all I search on YouTube and all I read about and all I look at on Instagram. And right now it's people's like body transformations, but not just like, you know, what they looked like before and what they look like now, but the transformation that's happened on the inside and how that shift has affected. I think my groceries just tipped over in the back seat. Anyway, this sucks. Sorry about the lighting. This is just what it's gonna be. So I have increased my water intake. I actually internet purchase. I bought one of these big bottle. This is actually the little one. This is a 1.7 liter, and then I also got a 2.2 liter, but I'm not carrying that one right now because it showed up cracked. So I just got my replacement in the mail today. But this is my second. So I basically have consumed like 2 liters of water so far today. I have been going to the bathroom like crazy. How do I fix this? I don't know. Yeah, I've been going to the bathroom. I left my house less than 2 hours ago, and I went to Walmart just so I could pee because not everywhere has a bathroom. And then I had to go to the grocery store as well. But I will say that being like really strict on the water intake, I'm never thirsty because I always have that around. I'm just always sipping it. I'm never thirsty. So I literally have not drank anything but water. I haven't had like any juice. I haven't had craving for anything like liquidy and sweet. Maybe I'll have a cup of tea tonight, but the whole like liquid empty calories thing just hasn't even existed at all. So that's kind of neat. And I'm just like reflecting on it now as I talk. I'm hungry. Like, I made a point to have a big breakfast today. I do a double serving of steel cut oats. This is like my new thing. So it's a half cup of steel cut oats cooked, so it ends up being like 2 cups of oats or something like that. I don't know. And then I do a whole pint of berries. Right now I have raspberries and then maple syrup, and it's about a 500 calorie breakfast. It's pretty dense, it's pretty filling. And then I had 3 like large potatoes with some kimchi for lunch. And I had a late lunch. I think I had it's 7:30 now. I think I had that lunch at like 2:30, almost 3 o'clock, because I was reading at the time and I remember seeing the time. Okay, let's do the sunglasses. How's this? Better? All right. So yeah, and I've been out and I'm like ravenous. Yeah, so that's really interesting. So I will say for the first month that I was doing, I'm technically on week 7 today, but I did have food poisoning, and that kind of like threw me off a little bit. But I'm so happy that like for the first time in my life I got sick, and as I felt better I just got right back to where I started. So it's kind of like I did like a week and a half that equaled a week. I don't know. My weight has gone up by 5 pounds. My body in photos doesn't really look any different. but I feel like I can do so much more. There's a lot of like jumping jacks and like jump squats and these type of things that I was opting out of for a while, for the first couple weeks, and now I can do like almost all of them, and I just like, I look forward to it now, and I've learned like the choreography in these videos so I can focus on just like the movements instead of worrying what's next. And because it's a 6-day-a-week program, Wednesdays is like the rest day, I find that I thrive with programs that are more frequent, because I create this habit. And then on Wednesday, I'm like, well, what do I do now? So I find that that has really helped me. And when I was lifting before, it was a 6-day rotation as well, or like 3 days and a rest, 3 days and a rest, or however you do it. I find that that works better for me, because if I have 2 days in a row off, I often don't get back to it. But now it's like I'm looking for something to do even on my rest day. I've been wearing a Garmin for a couple years now. I have never, until the last couple weeks, not only done double the intensity minutes, but last week, because it ends on the Sunday, I was 2 minutes away from tripling my intensity minutes for the week, which was pretty crazy. My resting heart rate is sitting in the low 50s now. And this is like, I don't have an athletic background. This is not, where I normally sit at. The last time I regularly did cardio, I used to do long distance running. That was like 10 years ago for a short spurt of time, and then I had an injury. So I'm feeling like pretty good, but like the numbers really aren't changing. I think that the one change I had, I think I lost 1 inch off the widest part of my hips, which was 41 inches, and now it's at 40. And I think I lost a little bit off like the mid thigh, like maybe half an inch in that 6 weeks. But other than that, like, my weight has gone up, and now I'm just treating it as like a number, as a stat. I'm not getting worked up about it. That's just where it is, and I know I'm doing the healthiest thing possible for me. Now, that being said, for the first month, I was pretty loose with, actually for the first month, I was pretty loose with my diet. I was actively trying to choose better snacks, because I work in a restaurant. There's basically an infinite supply of tortilla chips and French fries, and it was kind of like every time I go in to grab someone's order, I have like a French fry from like the old fry box, and not fry box, I don't know, whatever the kitchen puts aside. Like, these are too cold to put on someone's plate. Hey, I can see you again. Yay! So, okay. So, back to the beginning of the story, my obsession with watching like before and after transformations. I kept seeing this suggested video, and I was avoiding it. Hey, look, there's turkey vultures. This girl named on YouTube, it's Hope Scope, and it was one of her transformation videos, where she lost, and this is where I was avoiding it, and like it said like how I lost 18 pounds in 2 months, and I'm like, okay, not good, girl. Like, calorie restricting and all that. That reminds me of something else I want to talk about. So I was avoiding it, and then I watched it, and I actually love this girl's personality, totally subscribed. And it was interesting. Her and her boyfriend followed a program I'd never heard of. Someone, a podcaster named Andy Frisella, put out, I think it was last year. It's called 75 Hard. And this is a like simple seeming challenge. over 75 days. I'm not going to go into the details in this video. You can look it up, or I can talk about it in another video. But I am super intrigued by this whole thing, and it might be something I might embark on. And it's not actually about weight loss and restructuring your body. It's actually about the mental challenge, and kind of proving to yourself what you can overcome, so that you can let that overflow into other places in your life. Here we go with the blinding sun again. Those are my earbuds. So yeah, anyway, super interesting, and it's something that I am really looking into now. So I just went grocery shopping, and I was very mindful about what I purchased. And what was that thing I was going to talk about? Oh yeah, so I was avoiding watching her video because of that very quick weight loss and this whole calorie restricting thing. So I mentioned in my last video that I downloaded the Noom app, and I was doing Noom. And I realized very quickly that if you go into it without any education pre-existing in yourself, it's like severely a calorie restricting encourager, I would say. It's not like they say, no, that's bad, don't eat so much. But basically, like, I'm 5'3" and 150 pounds, and it's telling me to eat 1,200 calories a day. And if I work out, and my workouts are pretty intense, so I burn about 400 calories per workout, I get to add half of that amount as a calorie allowance. So my 1,200 goes to 1,400. So it puts me in a pretty severe deficit. Now, according to Garmin, I'm burning upwards of 2,500 calories a day. So Noom is basically telling me to eat half of what my body needs. It's telling me to eat less than what I need for my body to do its basic biological functions. So I already paid for it. So I'm looking at it and I'm reading the articles, but I'm totally disregarding the whole caloric part. They do advertise themselves as more of like a psychological thing, but in my opinion, it's like, if they're putting that caloric restriction on there, they're kind of just the same as all the rest. So I'm a little disappointed in that way, that they're just wanting to get the quick results for people, the way that all the other programs are. And yeah, so that's kind of like how I'm feeling about that one. And that's kind of it. And look at, guys, super safe. Didn't touch that with my hands at all. And now I'm gonna park. I hope you guys are doing awesome, and I hope that that video was helpful for you. If you have any questions, if there's anything you want me to kind of overview in any upcoming videos, just let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!